And we are live. Right. Coming in. Welcome, welcome.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Good
Good morning or good
afternoon for
afternoon.
some. Yeah.
We'll do a quick introduction between Akiri and I, and then we'll get the show going.
Get mobile
Cool.
today.
Yes. Cool. Well, yeah, thank you everybody for taking the time here, joining us on this webinar. Really looking forward to, bring you guys through specifically the mobile app of inFlow Inventory. So today we're mostly going to be, focusing on the go features, things that that you can do on mobile. There is other features. So if you are new to inFlow, feel free to check out other resources as well. We have other webinar on our YouTube channel, on our knowledge base that would dive into other feature that perhaps is not on mobile, like assembly, like running different analytics reports, and those more detailed things like that you would need a computer for. And yeah, so my name is Martin. And again, really looking forward to I spend this time with you guys today, and we have Kiri here as well.
Nice to meet you all. I'm onboarded here at inFlow. So I might
Yeah.
have spoken to a few. I think we see a few familiar names. Probably ran into
Yeah,
Martin
I
and
did.
me at both points.
Yeah, I definitely see some people that I've had the pleasure of chatting with as well. And yeah, my role here, I'm on the sales team over here in inFlow Inventory. I've been with the company since right before the pandemic. February 2020 is actually when I started. Yeah, and yeah. With that said, I have my. Let me just quickly share my screen here and get this going. So yeah. Today, again, we'll be focusing on the mobile app, and I figured we can take five different sections, and we'll be taking a quick pause after going through each section. And feel free to type in any any questions that you might have in the chat. And at those different section breaks, we'll just take those questions as we come. In the end, we can answer any other questions as well. Kiri will also be answering a question on the chat. And yeah, so the features that we're going to be going through today, there's a couple of I guess different roles that I do see would be extra helpful too, but it's certainly not limited to those roles, right? Roles like warehouse staff members that's in charge of receiving when things come in, making sure that a purchase order or a sales order has been fully picked or received. In terms of the purchasing department, when they're on the go, let's say they need to go to different warehouses to pick up certain materials, and then they can log in that purchase directly on the phone. That takes that into inventory and cost into account. Sales reps that will be on the field, selling the products in the warehouse, and they can show live how much they have in stock, and also all the other product details that they can just carry with them, fill in the customer information or create a new customer, and then queue in a sales order that could be picked immediately after it's created at the warehouse while the rep is going into their other client location. Different asset management use cases as well. For example, like university, you store a room full of computers and you want to scan things in and out, equipment, tools, or owner, management roles, anybody who might want to just check in on various order statuses when they're just out and about. Maybe they're out getting a coffee and they don't necessarily have a computer with them at any given time. Yeah, so today I'm just going to share my mobile phone screen here. Kiri, can everybody see? Kiri, can you see this okay? Okay, perfect.
Yeah, look great, man.
Awesome. Cool. So yeah, so the five different sections that we will kind of be looking at, it's kind of outlined right here already, right? The first one will obviously dive into the product details. We can, just on the mobile app, we can see where things are at and other details that we can associate with each product. Then we'll dive into the relationships, customers, vendors, or source recipients. Um, and the third one, we can dive into the purchasing, PO, right? Stuff coming in. and we can dive into like internal adjustments and transfers. So more specifically, the stock transfers and add stock, remove stock, various different on the go stock adjustment methods. And then we'll dive into sales orders. And after that, we'll take a quick pause again for any final questions. Okay, so yeah, starting with section one, let's dive into our product details. So diving into the product list here, I can see my unfiltered all of my products that I have on hand. So I can also search by typing something in as well. Like for example, if I want to look for some speakers that I know I have, I can just type it in. Or if I have a barcode somewhere and I want to see its full detail, I can also scan it to find it. And then, yeah, immediately it's going to give me some options. Do I want to view its detail, add stock, remove stock, or sell item? Adding and removing as a stock adjustment and then the sales orders. We'll go through that in a bit. Let's dive into the product details. So yeah, this is an example of a product detail. You can certainly just add new products while you're in the store on the go as well, things that you have never held before, perhaps. Yeah, type in their product name. You can type it you can add an image right here. As you can see, I literally just took this image of this, in this case, a light bulb, on my desk, put it under its category, add a little description, perhaps. And as you can see, I just added this product, so the system has yet to calculate the cost and the different price lists yet. And with the different price lists, if you are, if you are using this for sales, you can do it via fixed markup or via fixed price. As a quick example, I can see how much quantity I have on hand. I have two in hand in my default location, and they're at aisle 11, A11. Also, I can look at their other details as well, like their measurements. How do I usually, count them? In this case, in boxes. So when I type in two, it'll show me two boxes, two standard units. And I can also set up a minimum threshold as well, a reorder point. At what point do you want to get um, reminded to reorder, right? And it is calculated based off of locations. So as you can see, these are all the other locations that I might have, maybe just for internal purposes, but I'm not using for reordering. But for my main default storage location, this always exists in aisle 11, which means that when I create a PO or a sales order, it's going to say, bring it in to A11 and take it out of A11. You can find it at A11. The reordering method is a PO, and the vendor is ACME, Acme. And we're going to dive into those different relationship vendor customer profiles in a bit. So in this case, essentially, I'm saying the reorder point is 10, reorder quantity is 50. So when available quantity runs below 10, remind me to order another 50 from this vendor. And yeah, there's other custom fields that you can add in here as well that might be more specific to your own product lines. Like in this case, if I'm selling lighting items, is it dimmable? And it is, more of the soft white? Is it, a more daylight or other relevant measurements? Perhaps add some, other remarks as well. So yeah, in this case, that covers the product details. And I guess, yeah, final thing just to add, in this product list, you can certainly add different filters for the list of products that you might want to have. If, for example, I just want to see my lighting products, and there it is. Here's all of my products relevant to lighting. And yeah, you can certainly add various different categories and subcategories, subcategories um, as you see fit. Right. Yeah. So that wraps up the product details section before we dive into the relationships and also the various different movements that would impact our stock level on hand. We can take a pause here to cover, any kind of questions. So I think there's a couple here already from Brock. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
So Brock was just asking, is there a way to nest item subcategories under main categories? In other words, I want to just see my main categories when I open.
Absolutely. Yeah. You can put in categories and subcategories. And if you just want to see your main category, that will show up. Everything that falls within the subcategories under that will also show up in that view as well.
And
Very
Donald
good.
was also asking, can reorder level be an overall and not just one location?
Reorder level, it is based off of locations. So if you want it to be overall, then we probably need to group like some of your locations together. Yeah,
Yeah.
locations are independent when it comes to the reorder settings. Can reorder be made in real time so that I can get notified at the time the threshold is crossed and not have to wait for an email the next day? So that notification, there's no setting to have that in just in real time. The most frequent we can have it every day, but at any given time, you can always go on your computer, hit the reorder report, just that button, and then that will populate everything that you might need to reorder.
Hope that
Cool.
helps, guys.
Yeah, hope that helps. And then the next thing, yeah, let's dive into the relationship. This should be a relatively short section. And a lot of you might already be using maybe different CRM systems, maybe accounting systems like QuickBooks. So this part won't really be new. This concept won't really be new to a lot of you. Essentially, the main thing is the things that doesn't change with each business relationship. You can just say that in place. Let's take the vendor, for example. So here's my list of vendors. I can certainly add different filters to see the exact list of vendors that I want to see. I can sort it in a different way. I can search it. I can also add a new vendor directly from here as well. But let's look at Acme, for example. I can see my balance and my credit with them. And then from here, I can see my contacts. Pretty standard information. There are different addresses. And my payment terms that I have with this vendor. Does the pricing that I have include the taxes and also the list of products that this vendor supplies, right? So we can see that that box of light bulbs is something that they do supply. That's their vendor product code. So we call it Philips 50 watt GU10 LED. They call it that specific code to reference it in their own system, and that's how much they're charging us per unit. And on the customer side, same thing. Let's take this one for example. We have Doug from Pedal Car, all their standard information, their pricing scheme, their payment terms, and maybe there's a default location where they would reserve stock from when they're the customer that placed an order. Yeah, and yeah, welcome Beth. Glad you made it in. And yeah, maybe some remarks for this customer as well. So as I plug in those different relationships onto either a purchase order or a sales order, these different information would also apply. And then on that, yeah, it will apply on that order, so you can just email the order directly from the app as well. Right? Seem like there's new questions. So yeah, let's go through that as an example. So let's take that light as an example. Let's go to a PO, and then it looks like I have in my list of purchase order. I can filter by show me everything that, let's say, it's not yet fulfilled. There's other statuses I can put there as well. For example, show me everything that I've fully paid for and I haven't fully received yet. Right? I can see that right now I have 50 of these on its way. Right? And to add more products, you can just add products or scan them. Or in this case, you can just adjust however many ones you might want to get. So just to show you guys what that process looks like, I'm going to first delete that. And let's go ahead and scan this product. If it will focus, yeah, each one, I can scan it and then, or I can just type in a 50 right there and check that box. Mark that as saved. And that is now part of my purchase order. So if the vendor's charging me shipping costs, be sure to put that right here. Let's say I'm paying $30 in shipping. And then now I can wait. If I do want to see, okay, when can I expect this item to arrive? There's also another detail tab as well. So you can see on both purchase orders and sales orders, there's two tabs on the main one. So right now we're on the order tab. There's also the details tab. That will show anything. So pretty much, yeah, everything about the actual order, the vendor information, and also the shipping address. So if you have a shipping address saved to the location, that should automatically populate here as well. But if you, for example, this specific order, you just wanted to ship to a different address, you can just edit that directly here, and everything else that you have already saved before, you can simply save that in place. And then let's say we expect this to arrive, let's say today, let's say later today or sometimes in the future, we can just populate that date as a requested ship date and then save that. Yeah, that's a great question. Serial numbers, as long as your product is categorized as serialized, then when you receive a serial item, it'll then prompt you to either enter or scan in the serial number barcodes. Yeah. So now we have that list of order there, and then let's go to receive purchase order, and all of the things that we have yet to fully received will now be shown up on this receiving list, right? Things that we haven't fully received, or in this case, things that's completely unfulfilled. If you tag it with an expected arrival date, that will also show up here as well. And you can just click that, and it'll let you know, okay, put these ones that you have received back into A11. So if you do count, if there's just like one thing that you just received, just check the box right here, or you can scan it to receive as well. Right? You can receive all, and it'll say put it back into A11 and continue and save. And now this item is now fully received. Let's hop back into the inventory, in our inventory, view the product details, and we can see the actual cost, right? And then again, we can go to the purchase order to filter for the ones that we have fully received, but we maybe we haven't paid for yet. But now the unit cost is now calculated, and for some pricing, I have set as a fixed markup. Some pricing I have used as a fixed price, and you can just see if it's a fixed markup, what the price is, it'll automatically adjust, and if it's a fixed price, what the markup will be. Right? Take a quick pause here as well to see if you have any
There's
questions.
a couple questions in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll start a little bit near the top here. So I know Donald wanted to know if you maybe just show how to filter and unfulfilled and fulfilled items.
Unfulfilled
Sales order
on a sales order.
and fulfilled.
And fulfilled
Yeah.
on a okay. Let me note that down. Unfulfilled fulfill sales order. So yeah, for the sales order part,
To be on sales order or PO. Probably on PO as well, I guess.
on the PO as well. Okay,
Okay.
absolutely. So let's go to the reset the
And I'll look
filters.
fairly the same.
Let's go to that one. Yeah, and there's an unfulfilled button right here. at the bottom
Mhm.
right. Yeah, just feel free to click
Right.
that, and yeah, that's now fulfilled. You can just go ahead and fill that. Now that's unfulfilled, and your inventory levels will be up to date as well. And yeah, when you receive it, can you receive it in different locations? It's something that I saw. The
Yes,
next
that's another one
question,
that's there.
yeah, yeah, Joe asked, edit locations. Right, you receive this much under this location, and you receive the next. Yeah, so let's say you just received. Oops, you received 5 under A11, and go save that, and perhaps you received another one. Oops. Sorry, wait a second. Partial receive, that location. No. Go ahead and receive the rest at, let's say, the other location. There we go.
Beauty.
And hopping back into the product, let's search that up. We now have 52 on hand, and we can see that they're in different, you can name it however you want, the sublocations and locations. So they're in different yeah, sublocations right now. And which one is a next question? Donald.
Um, Here we go. Azirath was asking, can you please show how it will show when customers log in? So
When customers
generally,
log, yeah,
yeah, generally
when
that's the
when
you.
customers log in, if you do have your customer as a view only user, and this is rare, but if you do have your customer as a view only user, and then in this case, and they want to use a mobile app, then they will essentially it'll just be a standard login page. But there's a chance that you're also referring to the showroom, which they would just on their phone they would click on that showroom link, and then that would still just prompt them to log in. It's like opening up a browser on your mobile app. Yeah,
Right.
the
You'll
mobile
still
app.
be able to see it on the
Yeah,
phone.
yeah, the mobile app is anybody that has and that is an internal one of count as technically one of the internal users, right? There are weird cases or certain nuanced cases where you can have a specific customer log in as like view only user into the system. Sorry, who asked that question?
Basirath.
Okay. Right. Go in the app. To catch up, now our customers can go in app and place an order in the app. So usually, if you're using the mobile app, you usually want your sales reps to place that order for the customer. And again, there are some nuanced cases, where we have like a big client that wants to see, like, let's say, they hold inventory at your location, and there's different of those scenario as well. But usually when your customer goes on to online platform, whether through a mobile app, whether through a browser, that will be done through the showroom, and which wouldn't be the mobile app here, but yeah, they can certainly go on the showroom on their mobile phones and then place that order right there, exactly the same way as they would on the computer browser. You go, and next question, same PO. I often have products that I back order with different dates. From product, is it possible to add a specific product when a specific product should be delivered? Go. Yes, so there's a couple ways that we might So Philip, just to answer your question, um, so the question is, yeah, there's a couple products that that's back ordered with different expected receiving dates on it, right? And if you do want to tag the expected delivery date on those different products, you can go to the purchase order screen, and on each one here, you can edit. Whoops, wait. Order screen. The only way that I can see that is perhaps under the different remarks section, and you can mark down the different arrival dates. And on your expected or your requested ship date, you can mark down the next date. So you have your list of dates on the purchase remarks section, and then you can put in the most the closest date on the requested ship date. So when that date comes, you'll still see a partially fulfilled PO on your on your essentially your receiving PO list. We receive to different locations, such as area in the warehouse. Covered that. Customer login and question on product barcode. So we always receive products that come in
Yeah.
boxes in a different set quantity. Carton barcodes. Is there a different individual barcode when I received? I have to manually open up the carton and to scan the barcode. Is there a way around this? So there is. So it wouldn't be differentiated by the actual barcode, right? So we can do units of measure. So you can scan. We can still have one barcode, right, for that SKU. Let's take this one. Let's just take this light bulb here, for example. One barcode for that SKU, and we can set up different units of measurement. So standard, we're in boxes, but let's say right now um, they come in big cases, and in each case there are 12 boxes or 10 boxes. That's something you can set. So on the PO, your vendor price, your unit price that's listed on this vendor is now referring to the price per purchasing unit. And then when you receive it, you can also choose which unit you want to receive as well. Right. Case, how many cases you want to get from the vendor. Done. And when you're receiving it the same barcode though in boxes. Save that. Yeah, that was from Andrea. And from Bobby, if I receive, for example, 5 laptops at $100 and another at 150, but is this program set up where a customer can only see the first batch of 100? Then after the sales of those computer, will the system change the price? So if you do have, so there's a couple of possibilities where your customers uh, would have uh, would have visibility to your inventory level. And yeah, just for reference, answering Bobby's question right now, if I received, for example, 5 laptops at $100, then another 5 at $150, can the pro can inFlow set up so that a customer can only see the first 5 laptops that is $100 each, and then after those the system will then change the price to the new cost. So yeah, if you still want to show them the total inventory levels you have, but you want to show them the first price, easy, just set your account to first in first out costing, and then you can change your prices to fixed markup. So as your cost gets updated via first in first out, those prices automatically updates as well. When you sell the first 5, then the price will automatically change the next time. If for some reason, if they want, if they, let's say they have access to showroom, or they're part of an internal user, they have a visibility into your stock level, and you only want them to see the first five. The way that I can see it work is separated based off of location. You have your available to immediately sell location and another virtual location, and this customer, they can only see your inventory level at this location. When you sell this off, load up the other inventory over there. That's to handle the stock level portion. But there's a possible it's possible that you just mean via the cost change, and how it's marked up automatically. And yeah, a Bezereth, yes, they can be able to place order, but they can again log in through your mobile app. You can have your sales rep, or they can log in to the mobile app to place orders. So the answer is yes. You can certainly have them log into the mobile app and just have access to creating a sales order. And maybe they can't. Maybe they can only see. They can they can't change the prices. They can only see the prices, and they can't run different reports and things like that. So in the chance that you do have your customer log into the mobile app to place an order, yes, that is doable as well. But usually in these cases, you can consider just use the inFlow showroom and have your customers either use the computer, the mobile, or their phones to place an order through the showroom. The showroom is more of a formal customer portal that will just show customer facing aspects, so they wouldn't have the risk of seeing your backend. Yeah, and we're almost done with. Yeah, there's a bunch of questions here. Um, what do you think, Yuri? Should we? There seems to. It seems like, yeah. There's a bunch more questions afterwards. Let's go into the different adjustments, and then we will, yeah, go on to the order, right? Yeah, yeah. So we'll pick up the questions in a little bit. And then, yeah, if there's if there's some questions that we're not able to answer today in this session, feel free to contact us as well at support@inflowinventory.com, or sales@inflowinventory.com. Yeah, and we do have a free 14-day trial as well. So let's dive into the different adjustment methods. So yeah, let's first dive into, let's say, stock transfers, right? And stock transfer is when you're moving things between um, a certain warehouse, or when you're moving it from a warehouse to warehouse, location to location. So let's go ahead and see this transfer. Oops. This, yeah, that's I'm scanning by the stock transfer number. So let's create a new transfer from main warehouse to, let's say, a wastage location, because I want to track, how many got damaged, and I create a specific location to track that, right? Scan this product, and two of these boxes got damaged, over to the wastage location. Send transit and receive transfer. So yeah, with stock transfer as well, there's different statuses. This is pretty new on the mobile app. There's a from location to location, and then there's also like different statuses. Before it was, you just scan, you hit transfer, and then it was just done right there. So now in transit status is there. So in case this is another warehouse, you can just leave it as in transit status, assign this right here to another team member at that location, so they get an email notification saying, hey, you can expect stock transfer number 3 to arrive soon. When they received it, they can just hit receive transfer, and then that's communicated across the board as well, right? And then now going into the products, not sure if I've saved that. Cool. So now at location 2, I now have 2 boxes there, and I have 100 in my default location. There's other ways to adjust inventory levels as well, right? For some reason, if you don't want to set up a different location. You just want to do some stock adjustments for damaged item. Just go to remove stock and add stock. They're the exact pretty much same feature that impacts inventory in the opposite way, but they look the exact same. Scan an item. Let's say you just want have one, or let's say you want to remove five, and then remove stock. You can adjust, or you can adjust and enter some internal remarks. And oops, and now the inventory level is up to date across as well. Now we have 97 boxes globally. We can see that we got 95 over at 100. Right? Add stock, same concept. If you have, just some items that came in for free, unexpected items, you can add that on the PO certainly, or if you just have it lying around, you can just scan it here. That will add it to the inventory as well at your chosen location. And last but not least, we have the sales order aspect. So this is maybe for sales reps, anybody who might not have a computer with them that's traveling on the field, then they can just see their list of orders. They can quickly select a customer if it's an existing customer, or they can start with a new customer and fill in their details right here. Let's find this existing one, and then I can scan the product right there. I want to add it from the list, or let's say I just want to sell them 10 boxes. Done. And same thing with the PO. I can see the details of the customer. I can see, okay, this is expected to arrive, let's say later today. And then it's picked from default location. That's the order date, the payment terms, maybe different remarks, and so on. When is a payment due? If it's a shipping today, it's due on receipt. So let's say it's due today as well. And I can go ahead and then save that. Now this is an unfulfilled order. As a sales rep, I can go on to my next place after I, let's say, email them the invoice. Invoice them. So when I click invoice, that sends it to the customer's email that you have on file. If you want to text it to them, you can always click share order as well, and that will just share this invoice link. You can then like text it to people through different social media platforms, perhaps that's connected to your phone. And once they paid for it, yeah, you can mark it as paid. And yeah, from here, now this is an invoice status. And for internally, maybe the sales rep is on another location. They can now go to pick sales order. People within the warehouse, they will just see this queue run up. They can filter by expected ship date, filter by different statuses. But on this pick tab, much similar to the receiving aspect of purchase order, any outstanding orders that hasn't fully been fulfilled yet will just hit this list. They can just select that order and then go to A11. It'll let them know where they can find this, and then start scanning them in. And then if they scan one more time, it'll let them know, okay, stop. Like, put that last one back. The product has fully been picked. Continue and save. And if they're in charge of like the shipping aspect as well, they can certainly use all of these, filter just for the ones that started, so it's already picked, and maybe your own delivery person will go through order by order, and then as they're delivered, they would mark it as fulfilled, or as soon as it's out the door, you can then mark this as shipped. So you can enter some shipping remarks, you can have your carrier there, maybe enter the tracking number as well, and the date where it's shipped. It's automatically tagged over there. And then once you have received the payment, be sure to, yeah, right now, that just started to fulfill. So it doesn't fit this filter anymore. But let's just say, show me everything I fully fulfilled, but have not fully been paid yet. Apply. And then we can go ahead and receive the payment. And again, you can mark down the different payment method. Let's say they mailed in a check. There's a little reference number, some remarks, and complete the payment. In the scenario of returns, you can always go back onto this specific order, hit the actual item, and then there's an option at the top to return that product. Yeah, and that pretty much wraps up all the different main sections of the mobile app. We have roughly 15 minutes in the rest. So let's spend 10 minutes to cover the questions, and we might not. There's a chance that we might not cover all the questions here today. Again, feel free to get in touch at support@inflowinventory.com or sales@inflowinventory.com, and we'll leave the last 5-6 minutes for the lucky wheel. Is that so?
Perfect. Yeah, I know. Just to probably, since we're right here, Joe was asking a quick question of
Yeah.
that he might just have missed it. How to correct an incorrect scan count if you were scanning those in? Just so like, I scanned 10, but I needed to actually scan 9. How to just quickly correct it?
Okay. Yeah. If you scan 10 and you accidentally, then you can, if it's not enough, you can go ahead and just scan one more. Assuming this is on the picking, right? So let's say I'm gonna first add I'm gonna first add 10 units onto this order. Now we have 10 more for this order to show up on the pick list. Right here. So let's say I go ahead and scan 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if they scan 9, then it'll let them know right here that they've only scanned 9, and then this will not be fully picked. This will still show up in your pick tab, right? If you scan 10, that's perfect, and if you scan one more, you'll actually get that little phone vibration, and you'll get a notification here as well that says the product has fully been picked. Put the last one you have scanned back.
Intuitive enough to help you out in those moments.
Yeah.
Great. Zeroth was asking again, can customers be able to see their order history? Again, I think this is still reference to showroom. Zeroth, but
yeah, even on showroom order history, it's currently being discussed right now. There's various different features that we're looking to add on to the showroom. So every quarter, we kind of get together and see the list of requested feature. So I know that order history on showroom, the next time we update showroom, that's most likely will hit the list. We can certainly take this feedback just to add more votes to that feature, but unfortunately right now we're not sure what the rough timeline on that release date is yet.
I'm also going to link you to our roadmap as well in the chat, so that's where anyone can see what we have under construction and planned or what's been launched as well. And feel free to upvote things there as they might be passionate about.
Yeah. Do we have a next question?
Yeah. I think it was just another one for Zira, but doesn't look like anything else as of right now, which I'm hoping that means that you cleared up everything pretty nicely for everyone.
Okay.
Mobile's great, it's very straightforward, very simple. I think it's perfect for people who are on a job, you're having to work outside on the field. It's great for them. You're in a warehouse where you can't be tied to a computer and you just need something to quickly do some of these things. It's great. As the company that you're in grows as well, there's also our smart scanner too that works with the app as well. So if you need something that's a little bit stronger than the phone's camera, which I think works pretty well, as you could see with Martin, had no issues scanning those barcodes.
And
But there's that
yeah,
option
so
as well.
yeah, just for a quick reference, I had no problem using my old phone, the iPhone XR. We can probably use like maybe even a little bit older, and right now I'm using the iPhone 12. Yeah, so it's very good for things that's on the go. You want to communicate internally, assign different orders, tasks, stock transfer to different members, send them an email notification and whatnot. That can all be done through the phone. And just know that today we have taken a more generic workflow overview. Obviously different companies, you have different specific needs that would be that we would need to implement, into like the different fields, into the different process. But yeah, today we have dived into most of the nooks and crannies as well. We might not need all of it in our day to day as well. Yeah, it's mainly just a quick overview, and yeah, we'll cover. I think there's a couple more questions that just hit the list, and
So
then
they're
we'll
coming in
cover
now.
those. Yeah, and then we'll
Here, Heidi has a pretty interesting one. So I
perfect.
noticed
Yeah.
on the iPad there's no print label button. Is it not possible to print labels from an iPad? And through mobile, we'll double check, but I don't think so. You might have to play around with some of your settings,
On
but
the
I'm wondering. Yeah, go
On the
ahead.
iPad, you should be able to access the web app that does allow you to print
Right,
labels.
exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what I was going to reference, Heidi, is that you probably don't want to go to the mobile app. You probably actually want to go to the actual app, which is just app.infloinventory.com,
Yeah.
and then request the desktop version, and then you'll get the web version essentially on your mobile device.
Yeah. And we just released our label design. It's been a long time coming, where everybody here is super excited for it.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it literally just got released, I think, last week, Kiri.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
So now that we have this, updating that printing on the mobile app, that's next. And again, if we, be sure to stay in touch with the different release updates on that link that Kiri sent. We're gonna be posting those updates of when that's coming on mobile, when that's coming on showroom, and yeah, and so on. Does
Great question.
uh, the showroom show retail cost for customer or base cost? So showroom, unless you really could create a custom field and you want to show them your actual landed cost, showroom won't show the cost. Showroom will show that customer the pricing that they have access to. So different customers, they can actually see different pricing when they go onto the showroom. Not really into the mobile app. So, but yeah, definitely, be sure to check out the showroom webinar that we have done before as well. And yeah, feel free to get in touch if you want to see a demo of the showroom. Happy to walk you through what that looks like as well.
Showroom's great. It gets super, super customizable depending on sending your showroom.
Yeah, label printing is very helpful. That's awesome. Yeah, super excited for the new label app. We're gonna have these webinar pretty frequently, like as we've always done. Is it monthly, Kiri? Monthly webinars, right? Or is it quarterly?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
they're going to
monthly
be pretty
webinars.
frequent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so be sure to stay tuned for the following webinar, as well. And yeah, that's when you'll have the chance to see cool features that we have, get some live support here, and also a possibility to win $100 gift card. So why not? Yeah. With that said, I want to thank everybody here I want to thank everybody here for the time that you have spent with us today. We have a great turnout today, and yeah, hopefully all of you find it at least somewhat helpful. And again, just to toss it in there again, be sure to keep in touch, contact us if there's any questions that pop into your head afterwards that you guys didn't think of right now. And yeah, and we'll see what we can do for you then. Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for
Have a
joining us,
great rest of
guys.
your day. Have a great rest of your evening. Take care.
See you later.